breakdown, ba 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 ba. Breakdown, ba 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 ba. Breakdown, da 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 da. Breakdown, ba ba ba.
What's going on, guys? Nammer JP here, and I am back. Today we'll be doing another unit breakdown, and in this unit breakdown we'll be going over 6 plus Shirahoshi. So 6 plus Shirahoshi, she's okay, not that much of an improvement from regular Shirahoshi, but we'll be going over her captain ability, her special ability, and what are some subs I recommend running with her. Just to let you know that I'm not the best Shirahoshi player, but I've seen a lot of stuff with her from the past, so hopefully my sub recommendations aren't too bad, but whatever. Let's start with her captain ability. So, 6 plus Shirahoshi's captain ability is to heal 5 times the character's RCV at the end of the turn, boost the attack of all characters besides herself by 2.5x, and then she'll boost her own attack by a smaller amount, let's say like 1.35 or like 1.45, something like that, since she before was like a 1.125 attack boost or something. And then she'll reduce 15% incoming damage if you don't attack with her, so that's pretty nice. And then her special ability now has 2 stages. So the first stage is to change adjacent orbs, including block orbs, to rainbow orbs, and she'll reduce 5 turns of RCV down and heal block, and then she'll heal 14 times her RCV stat. And then her stage 2 special will change all orbs, including block orbs, to rainbow orbs. She'll reduce 15 turns of RCV down, and then 15 turns of heal block, and then she'll heal 125 times her own RCV stat, which is pretty nice. She went from 100 times to 125 times, which is a pretty big deal, but overall it's nothing too crazy. She didn't really get anything that was really cool, will make her more viable than she already is. She basically, in my opinion, stays the same for the most part. But let's look at some subs that I would say are pretty good to run with her. So some subs I would say are pretty good to run with Shirahoshi are a lot of the dual legends. So we have Luffy Ace, which is a universal orb booster, which is always great to have. We have V2 Big Mom, which is really great. She's a 3.5x chain locker, and she also gives the additional attack boost when you have when you're above 50% and based off of how much HP you have. And since Shirahoshi will always have a lot of HP due to her healing and just in her special and also her passive healing as a captain ability, I believe that's really great to have in general. And then we have Barto Cavendish, really great switch ability. Both are defensive, where they give themselves a DR shield, and then their special ability also gives a threshold DR, which is really great. And then we have Whitebeard Marco, really great swap ability as well. They have paralysis removal, silence removal, and then they also give themselves a meat orb, which is really great for stalling. And then their special ability also is an HP cut, and also what does it do? It also heals, which is really great for Shira. Not that the extra healing's needed, but it's always nice to have. So some other dual legends and units I would recommend running with a Shirahoshi team are Law Luffy, of course, best orb booster in the game. They also have a really great swap ability, which allows them to bypass barriers and shields and whatnot, which is really great. And then we have TM, Shanks, and Ben Beckman, really great unit. They're 3x chain locker and color affinity, which is really nice. And if you can lock your orb beforehand with Shirahoshi after you pop your special, you won't have to worry about bringing like TM Yasop or TM Lucky Ruse support on Shanks and Beckman, which is really nice. And then we have Smoothie Oven, which are a really great TM unit as well. They're a 2x orb booster for Psy and Quick, and they also, in their swap ability, make Psy and Quick orbs beneficial for Psy, Int, and Quick units, which is really nice. And they also have end the turn, similar to V2 Kid special, which is really nice. Not as powerful, but it's really great for clearing mob stages. And then we have Fuji and Akaini dual TM unit, which is really nice as well. They insta-kill units that are 125 times lower their attack. They insta-kill units that are less than 125 times their attack, which is really nice. And they also, in their swap ability, do I believe it's like 10 or 7% HP cut, which is really nice. So if you like know that you're going to kill a unit, but they have resilience or whatnot, you can always just swap with them, and then boom. After you do all your damage, the HP cut will kill them, which is really nice. And what else do we have? Some other units I would recommend are... So now we're going into strength units, and some strength units I would recommend are Snake Man and TS Sanji, both are universal orb boosters, which are really nice to have. And then we have 6 plus Inu, who's a 20% HP cutter, also a self HP cutter, and he also does, I believe it's like 120 times. Let me check again. 130 times his attack and additional attack bonus, which is really nice to have on a Shirahoshi team, especially since they don't do a lot of damage typically, so that additional attack bonus is really useful to have. And then we have Strength Marker, really great utility unit. Attack down removal, bind removal, DR, and also chain down removal, I believe, which is really great. And some other strength units I would recommend running on a Shirahoshi team are... Let me find them real quick. So we have Raid, Rayleigh, and Team Big Mom. Both are universal boosters. Rayleigh is just an attack booster of 1.75, but it's a really great unit. And we have Team Big Mom, who's a universal orb booster, attack booster, and color affinity, which is really nice to have. And she also gives full G orb, so if you use Shira after or before, you'll have full matching orbs, which is really nice. Plus the additional boost that Big Mom gives, which is really great. And then we have Invasion Garb, really great for insta-killing units that are 25% above, that are at 25% HP, and also a 20% HP cut, which is really nice. We have Leo, who is increased defense removal. He also removes bind, and he also removes increased damage taken, which is really nice. And what else do we have? We have some more strength units for sure. And we're going into dex units as well. So Mount Dior, really great, also removes increased defense and also silence, which is really great. We have Strusen, who's really great if you're not able to use Shirahoshis, for example, on a stage such as Hollow Ray on the final boss. You're not allowed to heal, so Strusen would be a great replacement for that. He changes block orbs into meat orbs, and he also does that for non-matching orbs, which is really great. And then we have Magellan, who is a really powerful toxic, and he also heals, so he's also a really powerful unit to run on Shirahoshi. And then we have Usopp, who's a great delayer, which will help you if you're stalling, and is really great to pair when you want to run Magellan as a sub. What else do we have? So we have Legend Brook as well, who is a 90% DR, which is really powerful, and he also makes all color orbs beneficial. He also makes TND and meat orbs beneficial as well as his sailor ability, and he also does I believe a 15% HP cut, which is really nice. We have TM Shanks, who's also a really powerful unit. He removes barriers, and he also increases the chance of getting matching orbs. He also what does he do? He also does 60 times his attack bonus, so if you ever in need of that, it's really nice to have. We have TS Kid, who is probably one of the best subs I would recommend for Shirahoshi, he does 120 times his attack and end of turn damage and end of turn dex damage, which is really nice against quick bosses and quick enemies and just fodder, where if you don't feel like killing them manually, you can just use Kid Special and he'll easily clear them out for you. And then we have Annie Piranha, which is really nice. She does 50% heal and she also does 50% DR, which is really nice. And what else do we have? So some more units I would recommend are both 2 universal attack boosters. We have 6+ Frankie and we also have V2 Gear 4 really nice. Both of them are 2x attack boosters. Frankie can go up to a 2.25 attack booster if there are 3 or more enemies on the stage, but usually you'll just be using the 2x attack booster, which is still good. And then we have Legend Anel, who is really great for Shirahoshi. Since Shira is always going to be healing a lot, you can always get his 5 million damage really easily and you'll be able to use it quite effectively. Unfortunately, the buff that nerfs Anel will still be in play, but if you want to use a friend, Shirahoshi friend captain, and remove that buff, then you'll be perfectly fine if you still want to use Anel as a sub. But typically, you'll be using Anel for other stages where you wouldn't be affected by that. And some other subs I would recommend running on a Shirahoshi team are Tesoro, really great chain locker, 3.25 and also 200 fixed damage, which is really great. We have Kalo Magellan, who's a really great poison conditional of 1.75x. We have Bobbin, who's the utility god. He removes a whole bunch of things by 5 turns and also attack down, which is really great. We have Jack, who's a really powerful unit, great for clearing 6 enemies or whatnot by doing 2 million damage, which is really great. And he also removes shields by 2 turns, I believe it's percent, and increased defense, which is useful but not the best, but you're mostly using them for one-shotting enemies when there's 6 or 5 on a stage. And some more units I would recommend are V1 Law, who is one of Shirahoshi's best friends. She allows you to use your Anel special or V2 Ka special for bosses who are hiding in barriers and with increased defense and shield if you don't want to remove it. So V1 Law is a really powerful unit. And then we have Garp, who's also really good. He is a 30% HP cut, I believe. And he also is a 3x chain lock, and that HP cut goes between barriers and whatnot, which is really powerful. And then we have V2 Kata, who is really great for Shira. You just take a whole bunch of damage for Shira, and then at the end of the turn, you just smack them with the V2 Kata special, and everything is all good. And then we have V1 Judge, which is really great unit. He's a universal orb booster as well, and he also removes 7 turn of Bind, which is really nice. And some other side units I would recommend running with Shirahoshi are... So we have the 5+ Reiju, who's really great. She poisons enemies very strongly if your captain is Sai and Shira happens to be Sai, which is really great. Unfortunately, you can't use her conditional because your Shira doesn't get an additional class for which would be Powerhouse, but the poison is also pretty useful in general, so it's always nice to have. And then we have Limited Rare Creature Shigi, really great 3-turn 2.75 chain locker. She also removes increased damage taken debuff, which is really nice as well. And then we have World Clash Ace, which is really nice. She's a 1.75 attack or boost and 1.7 chain boost, which is really nice. And then we have Kuma, who is 7-turn Bind, the Spear Remover, and he also has the potential to insta-kill any enemy on the field, which is really nice. And the final group of side units we'll be looking at are TMNL 500 fixed damage, which is easily accessible. Whenever you use another special, he'll get his special up really fast, which is really nice. And then we have Karina, who's really great utility. She has DR, she removes a whole bunch of shields, and then she also is a block warp remover, which is really nice. And then we have Weevil, who is a 2x attack booster universally, and he also gives himself 400 times his attack and additional tap bonus, which is really nice, could be useful in a lot of situations. And then we have Rare Recruit Opera, who's really great. He's a 1.75 orb booster, and he also goes up to a 1.75 color affinity if you use his special twice in a row, or if orb boost is already applied. And he also is great for doing AoE for clearing mob stages, which is really nice. And then for int units, so we have 6+ Rayleigh, who is really nice. He's also a 7-turn Bind and Despair remover, similar to Kuma, and he's a really great unit overall. He also gets his special up really fast, similar to TMNL and Rayleigh, so he's a really great unit that can be used in multiple stages, multiple times. And then we have Hody, who's 90% DR, which is nice, not really that can be useful on Shirahoshi, but really niche. And then we have Capone, who's also pretty niche. His big fodder could be really useful in a lot of situations, but typically you don't need it. I just added him just in case for if you wanted to bring big fodder for something. With Shirahoshi, you always could. And then we have TS Nami, who's really powerful unit, still useful to this day. 5 turns of paralysis and silence removal, which is really great. And the final batch of int units we'll be looking at are Rare Recruit Ein, really powerful unit. She removes 4 turns of Bind and Despair, and also percent and increased defense if you have her max double special, which I would highly recommend doing. And yeah, but use one special removes 2 turns, and if you have max double special, of course, you remove 4 turns. And TM Croc, really great unit. He becomes a 4x captain if you swap. So if you don't want to use Shira's 2.5 captain, you can always use Croc, swap, and then you'll have a 4x captain, so you'll be dealing more damage. And I forgot to mention these quick units before, but we have Sugar, who insta-kills enemies that are at 20% HP or lower. And then we have Big Mom, who deals damage based off how much HP you have. So with Shira, you can always spam the damage that you deal, and she has double special, so you can always just heal a Shira, pop Big Mom, heal a Shira again, pop Big Mom, and you can probably kill a lot of enemies with that, even though it's only solo target, but it's still a pretty good unit. So yeah, that's going to conclude my Shirahoshi 6+ unit breakdown. I'm sorry that I was on break for so long, but I am now back. I will be doing the Capone one and Franklin one fairly soon, and then I'll let you guys vote on who are the next units you want me to break down. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.